Hey there everyone, thank you for coming in. Today taking a look at Star Wars The Mandalorian Dark Trooper. Well, these showed up at my local Walmart and I wasn't going to buy them because the sticker said 26 bucks. I'm like, no. But I looked and scanned on the app, 14. I was like, okay, if I will go and buy a regular vintage collection figure for 16, which is rare, but I have done it, I'll buy these for 14 each. What can I say? I did like these in The Mandalorian. I will say that much. And I thought a couple would be alright, and then we'll see what I think about them. But anyway, I will get these guys out of the box, and then I'll let you know. So here are the Dark Troopers. The Dark Troopers. Let me see if I can make this work. Okay. One thing I wanted to show, and that's one of the problems I have with them. Okay. Yeah, if you shine a light over his head, the eyes light up. One problem I have is the ankles, they're stuck, and they don't want to stand up, hardly. So, let me turn the other light on. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of get a good view of them. They are cool though. I like them. Now, the Black Series had... he's drunk. Black Series had a deluxe one too, but he didn't come with this little thing here. I did put this one all the way together, but I haven't quite finished this one. I still have to put those on it. But I was just like, oh, that took me so long. I'm just, I'm done. But, you can put these, whoops, another drunk Dark Trooper. But you can put these together and have a series of them if you buy so many. I think 2 is fine. I don't care. He's got a gun. Now that little clip right there will clip onto the thigh here, so that you don't have to worry about the gun being tossed around so much. Come on, standing them up is a pain though. Just lean them a little bit. Because, at this point, they got blast effects to fly with. Yeah, okay. Whatever. And they got fists to punch. I guess there was that scene where they were punching the door and breaking it, yeah. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, that's pretty much the Dark Troopers there. What can I say? I didn't think, I hate that Vintage Collection is doing all these deluxe figures that aren't deluxe. I mean, to just, oh yeah, this is deluxe. No, it's not. It's kind of cheap. You just saying it's deluxe to be able to charge that higher price point. And yes, I know fans who are getting sick of this too. Yeah, it's just bothersome. Like I said, when that hit clearance, I'm good with it. It's actually less than most of the Vintage Collection, so yeah, I'm a lot better. But yeah, that $25 price point, no, that's not working for me. It's not working for me, brother. As has been said a million times. I did not think they were going to do these in the Vintage Collection when I got the Black Series one. And, that was part of the reason I kind of got out of Black Series, is because, it's just like, it gets a little confusing because they say, oh no, we're never going to do that in Vintage, and then they do it. And it's like, why are you treating me like this? I stick with Vintage because, again, I've said it a million times, I've collected Vintage scale since 1977. Everything I have in Star Wars, minus the few Black Series I have, is Vintage scale. Why would I quit that? I bought a few Black Series for the OT, and always tempts me, and I cave sometimes. But for the most part, I still stick with Vintage. I like vintage. I like what it does. I like what it represents. And to me, that's what works. So, you know, more often than not, I mean, Ollie's is the exception. I will buy some Black Series from Ollie's, but those deals are hard to pass up too. Now, granted, when they have Vintage Collection on sale for $3, that's hard to pass up. You know, but still, you get where I'm coming from. How do I feel about these? These are okay. Again, I think they could have just given you the... I mean, Star Wars is really skimping on the accessories. Now, in some ways that makes sense. Some characters just don't have a lot of accessories. There's not much you can give them. You know, I got one coming up soon. Yeah, they can't give the guy much. I mean... But this is one you can give some accessories to, and of course, you know, oh, we gave him some accessories. Deluxe, stamp it right on there. And I'm sorry, to me, this is not a deluxe figure. You know, maybe the chamber makes it a bit deluxe. Okay, I'll concede that a little bit, but it still should not be no $25. I'm thinking. Well, at the time, I'm trying to remember what vintage was going for at the time, because they've raised vintage so much so quickly. It's like, yeah, they're pricing themselves. First off, they're pricing themselves out of sales. Second off, I think, you know, they're really shooting themselves in the foot with that one, because I'm noticing vintage slowing down a lot, and a lot of popular characters are just kind of peg warming, I meant. I mean, I see Vaders all the time. I mean, that used to be, you never saw that. Then again, I don't buy Vader too often, every couple of years or so. I'll buy the stupid fly. I'll buy the upgrade, but yeah, I don't buy a whole lot of Vaders either, but these are cool for what they are. I like them. You know, I'm a vintage collection, you know, that's where my bread and butter is, but more and more they have found ways to make me not buy vintage collection. Or Star Wars in general. I mean, let's face it, the media is just terrible. Yeah, I mean, they really honestly are losing a ginormous fan base who would just fork over money for so much, and it's like they give them so little. And thus the merchandising sales suffer as well. Oh wait, I'm a bully, I'm sorry. I forced people not to buy these toys with their own money. Shoot. I can't. I can't with that. I just can't. You know, to me, I just like stuff, and vintage collections is what speak to me. So I can't really think of much else to say. You know, I do like how the shiny they are. I mean, that's cool. And just like the Black Series, I mean, it's like they suck up the light, which they should. Absolutely they should, I think. I think it's a little funny that they have a bit of give in the hips, but I'll run with it. I'll go with it. Okay. So, I think that will wrap up this one. I like these guys at $14, more so than I liked them at $25. Star Wars, we're watching Star Wars, we're watching Star Wars yet again. Hey guys, today taking a look at Star Wars Rebels Grand Admiral Thrawn, and from Ahsoka, Professor Huyang. Yeah. So, again, I buy vintage up a little rarely. I don't buy much Black Series unless it's at Ollie's, but, you know, vintage, you can sucker me in. So, these were at my local Walmart. Definitely wanted Huyang. I mean, he's a droid. He's voiced by David Tennant. I mean, come on. Yeah, there's not a cross-sell on that. Weird. Okay, there is on this one. So, you know, here we go. Let's take a look at some figures here. See, Great Admiral Thrawn? Cool. Morgan Elsbeth? No. Marf Gerard? No. Luke? I got Luke. I did get Boba Fett in his Tatooine outfit. The Assassin Droid? No. And Ahsoka? No. So, and the Grand Inquisitor? No. So, of all those, I got one. So, you see, that's how few I buy. And really, the Thrawn was a impulse buy. I have a Thrawn from a comic pack, I want to say it was 2008 or 9. He came in a comic pack with Talon Card from the comic pack for, I want to say it was Heir to the Empire, but it might have been Dark Force Rising. It was only one issue of it, and yeah, so I was perfectly happy with that Thrawn, but you know, I don't know. This was an impulse buy because it was down to 12. Huyang was down to 14. I think they just mismarked him. So I just grabbed them when I did. You know, I grabbed these at 2 separate occasions, but I thought I'd open them together because, you know, vintage collection. Well, it's vintage. And again, and I reiterate this time and time again, I buy vintage collection because that is the scale I've collected since the earliest days of Star Wars. It just works, and I got plenty of vehicles and stuff that go with this scale figure that I'm just at the point I can't really change. I could buy some Black Series just for some novelty of it, but you know, I don't feel the overwhelming need to get everything in Black Series. Ollie's tempts me all the time, though. That's a fact. I get tempted by Ollie's a lot, and I will buy things in Black Series from Ollie's that I would probably never normally buy. But there's Thrawn. I need to move him back some so you can see him. Well, actually, I need to reset the camera. Because you won't be able to see these figures otherwise, but I'll do that after I do the opening. Yeah, and I always take it off camera because I'm terrible at this, and there's tape across the gun, and that's going to take me a minute, and I'm going to edit this part out, which I probably won't because I'm talking over it, and all kinds of fun stuff there. Well, alright, let me put that there, and let me get Huyang out. He's probably got some tape on his accessories too. Weird that they don't have cross-sell on him. But then again, Hasbro in general is moving away from that. I don't know why. I think it's stupid on their part, because cross-sell, I mean, it lets people know what you got. But then again, Hasbro doesn't think. If they did, they wouldn't be losing money all the time. And you know, people, you know, there's a toy company that doesn't make toys. They make toys, but it's like, God, us toy buyers really think we have a hold on what's going on with the company, but we don't. I mean, it's more Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. I mean, that's where their money comes in. Okay, Huyang is drunk and doesn't want to stand properly. Come on, Huyang. Alright. Okay, I'm going to cut off for now and get the rest of these accessories out because they're all taped down, and we'll come back. Alright, so back, and Thrawn comes with a gun. Whoops. that goes on his hip. It's weird Thrawn with a gun. You just don't imagine him packing a gun, but he's got one because we got to give him a gun. He had a U6 Vong creature previously, and yeah, anyway. Huyang comes with this, which kind of looks a little like a lightsaber, or could be an antenna. I mean, but it doesn't seem to, I put it in his hand and it fell right out. So he's got his data pad, which is kind of nifty. This is a little hard to pull off, so I just did it off camera. And he's got this arm. He's got two of these, which he can put on his back, or he can go with the folded up versions. Either way, but you got to take the backpack off to change them out. It's just real weird. Anyway, nice leathery tunic around his waist. Pretty cool overall. He's got those elongated features that he had both in the Clone Wars and in the TV show, so it works. And he doesn't want to stand up because he's so damn skinny. He's battle droid level skinny. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I think both of these are really cool. They have the standard articulation of Vintage Collection. There's nothing spectacular except for Huyang with the arms on the back of his backpack. That's a little odd, but I mean, if you ever watched Clone Wars or Ahsoka, you know that exists. And when you think about Huyang surviving through to the time after the original trilogy is kind of amazing. I do think it's strange because all these characters survived, but you never saw them in the original trilogy. And there's that argument for Rex being in the Endor squad, I suppose, but past that, yeah, you really don't get that. It's interesting, weird, odd. I don't know how I feel about Thrawn being pulled into Ahsoka. First time I heard it in The Mandalorian Season 2, I was like, ooh. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know. Especially seeing it, seeing blue Elon Musk, I was just kind of like, wait, what? No, this is not the Thrawn I thought. I know the guy's a voice actor, but he doesn't have that presence that Thrawn had. And the weird thing with the stormtroopers and the gold, I was just like, what? Yeah. That part has to be explained to me because it just doesn't resonate. it throws me off a little bit. So, when something doesn't resonate and it throws me off, okay, you have to pull me back somehow. And I'm not seeing how I'm going to be pulled back yet. I won't say it's not possible. Yeah, I mean, Ahsoka Season 2 might do it. I don't know. I won't say never. I won't say maybe, I will say I'll see. I will take a look and I will see. I know this is all supposed to lead into a Grogu and Mandalorian movie, and I guess Thrawn's going to be the main threat in that, and da-da-da, and okay. Sure. Well, to me, there's a bit of cut and paste here. And I should say it. It's, Filoni's being called out for some things in the Clone Wars now, finally. He's being called out for, hey, that was just cut and paste from this and this and this. And it's like kind of fun to see. Because I noticed it too, and at the time I brushed it off because it's like, it's a kid's show, da-da-da. But, the more you think about it, the more it's like, oh, so now he's just cutting and pasting from the expanded universe that they got rid of. Okay, maybe that's why they got rid of it, so they could cut and paste from it. Oh, we know that people will like this stuff, so we'll steal from that, and then then people will be happy again. No, we're not. I wonder how, if they'll use CGI Luke Skywalker. That would be interesting, but I don't know how I'd feel about it. The usage in The Mandalorian as it was, I was kind of okay with. I should also say in Book of Boba Fett, because let's face it, that was the best part of Book of Boba Fett, was the Mandalorian episodes. But, I don't know how much further you can go with that, because it's like, we know it's not Mark Hamill, and we know it's fake, and yeah, we accept it to a certain degree, but yeah, it is some fake. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but at the same time, I don't hate it. It's just, it's one of those things you gotta, I don't know, you gotta save for good moments and then don't overuse it. And I'm afraid that's what they're going to do, is they're going to overuse it. And all of a sudden we're going to have Luke all the time, and then it's not Luke, but we can see it's not Luke, and we know it's not Luke. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, 2 more figures to my collection. 1 new character. That was the most important part. 1 new character. An older character that I do have, but probably could have used an update. And I don't hate this face sculpt at all. It's not as much as of Rebels as I thought it would be, and I'm kind of glad it's not, because that way it's its own thing. And he's his own thing, and that works for me. It works a whole lot for me, versus looking like Elon Musk. That's the best I can say about it. It looks like Elon Musk. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on these 2. I mean, I like them. I'm glad they're in my collection. I'm not overwhelmed by them or anything. Again, it's like, there's questions in my mind of how far does this go and where does it go, and then there's questions in my mind of should we let it go any further. I don't know. I got a feeling, as bad as I hate to say it, I just think we're running out of traction with the Star Wars in general. Disney Star Wars is never going to make, they're never going to do the cool things Expanded Universe did. They'll do things like The Acolyte and burn bridges to fans, but they're never going to do that. Those things that feel good and make you want to watch Star Wars. And it's a shame, because Star Wars is awesome. I still love Star Wars. I still watch the original trilogy almost once a year, and I don't think anything is going to change that. The prequels were that was George Lucas without someone filtering him, going, George, that's not going to work. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not going to work. Let me try this then. There you go, George. That's a little better. That was George Lucas surrounded by yes men, and that's a shame, because they kind of, I didn't say Lucas destroyed Star Wars. I said the yes men did, and that's a shame too, because it was like, I think the prequels had a lot of potential. They're not god awful, but they're not good. I mean, they are not good at all. They're a lot better in the sequel trilogy, but that's all beside the point. Again, I kind of dig these. I tend to pick up anything new-ish Star Wars. Just something that I've not seen before, and then I'm like, ooh, got that. And then I'm kind of move on to the next one. I don't buy every Luke and Han and Leia and Darth Vader that comes down the pike. So, I'm very picky on Star Wars. That's why I only get like 1 or 2 a wave, if that. I mean, I'll skip entire waves. Seriously. I have skipped entire waves before, so. you know, not a regular feature on my channel because of that. But at the same time, Star Wars does do some things I like. I like these two, for instance. I mean, I think they're just pretty cool. And that's what toys should be. Cool. And nice and awesome. You know, I love Thrawn from the Timothy Zahn books. I like Huyang from the Clone Wars series. Both of those are really resonant with me. Thrawn in Rebels is... he's okay. He's nowhere near as good as he is in the books. We'll say that. I know. Well, but it's for a kid show. I know. And yeah, put Thrawn in canon. But it also gave us the Elon Musk Thrawn. So I'm like, you know, is that really a good thing? Might not have been. Alright. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to do all the like, subscribe stuff, and you guys take care.